Yeah, to find out what's going on and then to get the word out to other people.
Environment workers just want to stay in deep interesting story from Florida.
Communist Manifesto here in America?
Where are you from?
Russia, USSR. That's why I'm quite surprised to see the manifesto over here.
Well, our movement came out of the our roots are with the Russian Revolution, but against the rise of Stalin and the books by Trotsky and others.
So you're for Trotsky?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the difference between Trotsky and Stalin then?
Stalin was the one that destroyed and undermined all the accomplishments of the revolution in its early years.
Well, the last time that I checked, when revolution started in 1917 by Ulyanov Lenin, he started by what Lenin himself termed the Red Terror.
The what?
Red Terror.
You're thinking of the White Terror.
No, it is the Red Terror. Lenin's own words, the Red Terror. Dzerzhinsky then was brought in.
Who?
Dzerzhinsky, Felix Dzerzhinsky.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is this, and Trotsky was part and parcel of it.
You're talking about during the Civil War.
No, I'm talking about, well, the revolution was a civil war, essentially, because there was a provisional government after the first February Revolution.
Yeah.
You know, and Lenin didn't believe in
So you
democracy.
think the Tsar was okay, or what?
Well, first of all, there was a February Revolution in February 1917.
I know the history of the revolution.
Okay, so then Lenin came in and installed this Red Terror, killing people left and right for no reason whatsoever.
That's not what happened. It's actually a pretty bloodless revolution.
And then what happened? I mean, what really baffles me? I mean, I lived in the USSR, I live here in the United States, and, you know, I can see the difference. What's your ultimate goal? I mean, what are you trying to achieve?
Me?
Well, your movement, militant, socialism,
yeah.
you're collecting funds for militant fund, whatever that is.
Yeah.
What's
to keep the paper coming out.
The movement.
Well, I think that we live in a world in which a tiny number of people control the wealth and resources. The vast majority of people in the world today have no.
But Soviet Politburo consisted of just 14 septuagenarians, octogenarians, and they controlled half of the world. They invaded Afghanistan for no reason whatsoever. They invaded Hungary. They invaded the Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia back then.
I think that Stalin undermined every accomplishment that the revolution made.
So which system did succeed? Let's say Stalin was bad. You're saying that Lenin was good?
Yeah, I do.
Lenin was good.
I think that what Lenin fought for. Yeah, and I think the revolution in its early years made enormous accomplishments.
Then why did Lenin, who started the revolution, all of a sudden had to switch to what he called new economic policy? Remember in 1922, 23, something like that?
Well, it had to do with the isolation of Russia in the early years of the revolution. Russia, it was a backward, primitive country of peasants that without revolutionary struggles in Europe that succeeded, it was isolated.
But when
it fell back.
But let me look. When we came here to this continent first, when Columbus discovered this continent, Indians, they were very, very primitive. They were less primitive even than the Russian peasants. There was nothing. There was no technology. There was no even the wheel. They didn't use the wheel back then. So now that we came to this continent, the United States of America has become the most advanced country in the world, right? So, I mean, this isolationist thing just doesn't jive with me. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, you're welcome to read through the books that we have.
Well, I'm just curious, to find out what's your opinion. You're promoting all of this, and it's my country. Want to change it? Obviously, I'm happy with the system that we have.
This is a very good book. Why don't you look through this? It's about the conditions that workers and peasants face in the world today. And, it's not about changing one country, one city.
Do people live better, let's say the poorest people in the United States, do they live better than the poorest people in Mozambique, for example?
Probably, undoubtedly. Undoubtedly.
So the poorest person here still lives much, much better than even middle class or poor in Mozambique.
So what's the point that you're making?
Well, the point I'm trying to make is that Mozambique, Angola...
You don't think that the people in Mozambique are impacted, or their economy is not impacted by what capitalism does around the world?
Of course, the more capitalism they have, the better they live. That's exactly the point that I'm trying to make. How
I don't
so?
agree with that.
Okay, but give me an example of a socialist country that
Cuba.
has been successful.
Cuba.
And how Cuba is successful, I wonder. Have you heard the story of a... Do you believe that there is a freedom? I mean, you can do what you're doing over here freely. You're advocating for socialism over here. Do you think you can do reverse in Cuba? Just set up this table and start promoting capitalism. Do you think that Fidel Castro would allow you to do that, or his brother?
Probably not.
So
Because
how is it better?
Well, I mean, it's not an abstract question here.
It's a specific question, yeah. It's a concrete question. You cannot do that in Cuba, right?
Oh, it depends on what you're doing. But
Well,
no.
specifically.
No, probably not.
So
Probably
America is better than
probably-
Cuba then, no?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, I mean, I don't agree with you.
Well, but it's a simple question. I'll give you another example. Do you think that if, let's say, I go to, I don't know, France and take with me, let's say, 15 modems, communications equipment, what's going to happen to me if I start giving it to people in France?
If you do it in Cuba, with the idea that you're doing it in the name of the State Department, as Alan Gross did, you're going to get arrested
Exactly.
and spend 15 years in jail.
Exactly.
As you should.
As he should?
As he should.
As he should.
As he
Just
should.
because he wants to Cuba.
No, he didn't go there with the idea of just passing out
So
communication equipment.
he brought the modems. That's all that he did. So you think he deserves 15 years of hard labor in Cuba? He deserves
Hard
that.
labor? There's no hard labor.
Okay, imprisonment. Fine. Whatever you call it. He is deprived of freedom. Let me put it
He's
this
not
way.
promoting freedom in Cuba. What's
He
promoting?
is. He is. It doesn't matter. What are you promoting? I mean, in a free society, you're allowed to promote whatever you want. You promote socialism? Well,
Yeah.
look, it's
All
a
right,
free country.
we disagree.
But that's the system that he wants to implement here, right? Is that right?
Me? No, I'm not going to implement it. Revolution will happen.
Will
Whether
happen.
you agree with it or not. Because capitalism is creating the
Prosperity. Prosperity. That's what capitalism has been creating.
Congratulations.
Well, all right, all right.
Long live the working class!